We finna get into it. So how long you got?
I got 15 to life.
15 to life. How does that work though? The 15 to life. How does it work?
So are we recording right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you get 15 to life, that's the lowest sentence that you can get in California for a murder charge. 25 years is above that. 25 to life is above that. And then they have an LWOP, which is life without parole. And then if you're that, you get nothing. You have nothing coming. You can't do groups. You can't get the milestones. You can't do anything to help your sentence at all. But because the judge, in my case, knew that I didn't know what was going on when the crime happened, she gave me 15 to life instead of LWOP. That was the deal they made me.
Okay.
Yeah, I took a deal.
So you able to get out? Is it?
Yeah.
So you go parole like every 15? Your first 15, or how does that? Is that how it goes?
So, no. So I'm going to board already in 2030. So that's my board date. So they give you a date. It feels like when you don't know when you're in county that you're going to be here forever, but then you get here and they throw this date at you that's like, my date is so quick. Now, mind you, I did 4 years in county, so that helped me out a little bit when I got here. I'm already going in 2030 to board, and
my bad. Say that again because the call was coming in. My bad.
Yeah, so there's no specific time. They just give you your ER estimated earliest release date, and that's what they tell you your board date is. So I could get out on the first time I'm going to board, but most people don't. They usually get shot back for 18 months. But it happens. People do get out on their first time at board. Since 2019, I read some sort of statistics when I was in county that said, like, in 2019, only 5% of people were getting out on their first attempt at board. And then by 2022, with Governor Newsom, we were getting out like at a 55% rate. Popular.
Yeah, sorry, phone call came back in. So for do you know how it works? Like when you go to a board, do you just like? Because my thing is like from that movie is like when you go in front of a people and they just ask you, have you been rehabilitated?
You gotta go see the white people. You gotta go see the old white people.
Do they ask you questions or something like that? Like, have you been rehabilitated or some shit like that, or what they?
Yeah, and they know whether you have or not. But they know everything about what you've been doing. They're going to be on my phone calls. They're going to be on my visiting list. And what they want is for you to have done a voc, which is like a job, a vocation. They want you to have done all these groups that we have. They want you to get these RAC credits. And then if you've done everything, you have all these binders of what you've done, these certificates of these things, then you have a really good chance of getting out.
Okay. So this phone call ain't gonna mess you up, is it?
No.
Okay.
No, this is my first year in prison, so I'm a freshman, so I do stupid stuff. I talk about on the phone dumb stuff, and I'll just be like, oops, So if they look at my phone calls from the first year, I'll probably be burnt a little bit. But I did a fake hanging of myself. That's how I got over here and to stay here. Remember, I was like, "Oh, I'll tell you later. It's too long of a story."
Oh yeah, you was on yard C and you on B, right?
Now I'm on B, yeah.
And that's older, and that's older people and people with like canines or dogs like that, right?
Yeah, the puppy program is here. They have an honor dorm here, and they have one regular unit. The unit I'm in now is EOP, which is for like retarded people, like slow people. You don't want to say retarded, and crazy people. Then I got here because I was on CR, minding my own business, And they were like, roll it up, you're going to EOP. And I was like, I'm not going to EOP. You're fucking crazy. I'm not going to EOP. I'm a brand new lifer. You're trying to tank my reputation. Why would you put me in EOP? And because I was having a problem with the medical, they were not helping me. I had like a rash on my leg. My leg was swollen for months, and they weren't helping me. And so I kept screaming and telling the medical staff that I had worms coming out of my legs. I was just being dramatic. I didn't really mean worms coming out of my legs. I had a rash. So that is because I kept saying that, they put me in EOP and decided I was crazy. And I liked it so much over here that when they tried to kick me out because I wasn't crazy, I did a fake hanging of myself.
What's the fake hanging of yourself? What you do?
I tied a sweater around my neck and act like I was going to hang myself.
Goddamn, your tall ass, you probably couldn't. You had to get on a motherfucking ceiling to do some shit like that.
Yeah, no, I was like on the ground, and I had the sweater tied to the bed, and I was like leaning.
Oh, for real?
But I mean, I wrote a note, and because I was distraught that they were kicking me out. They were kicking me out of EOP, but EOP is a fun unit to be in because they just baby you a lot in this unit, and you rack up the milestones. So they have like coloring groups, like groups that it would take me months to get into on the main yard to get these credits. In this unit, I rack up credits really easily.
What the credits do? They help you?
The credits take time off my sentence.
Oh, okay.
If I get, it's like 60 rack credits equals a week off. So, and I can get credits really easily in this unit.
Damn, so somebody told you all about that shit, huh?
Yeah, so I was like...
Hell nah. So the day you got, like, arrested, do you remember everything?
I remember the day I got arrested, some of it. Yeah, I was out of it. I didn't know what was going on. But I remember bits and pieces of it.
All right, so look, because I've read like 3 different articles, right? So
yeah,
and the way that they wrote it probably was, I don't know. So did it have something to do with you and your boyfriend breaking up, or was it about drugs, or was it both?
So it was a combination of things. My lawyer likes to say it was like the perfect storm of things that happened to me to put me in that mindset. So my husband, my baby's dad, we had been sober I got sober as soon as they said that I was pregnant.
Okay.
And so I never did any meth after that. So I was in the middle of a relapse when they told me I was pregnant, so then I stopped immediately. And then he eventually stopped, went to rehab. He was working like 16-hour shifts, and I had just got us a new house. It was just a lot of things going right, and then he decided to leave and relapse, and that sort of, with the fact that I was already experiencing postpartum, put me into postpartum psychosis, I believe, and after that I relapsed. So then you have all of these things going on, and I guess my mind couldn't take it, and it just had to break with reality. I started hearing voices, and they were telling me what to do, and that I had to do it, or if I didn't, I would be killed, and my kids would be killed, my kids would go to hell, and I was going to go to hell, and all this crazy stuff that I believed would happen.
So it kept happening over, like, time, or just that day?
No, it happened over a bit of time.
Like,
it was a downgrade of my mental status.
And it's because you was using the drugs, or you wasn't using the drugs when this was happening?
I eventually started using drugs after he left, and things were really bad. I was just crying all the time. I was like, oh, maybe if I get high, I'll get up out of bed, which helps. I mean, I don't recommend people with postpartum using meth, but it does get you out of bed, and you start doing your stuff. So I'm like, oh, okay, this is okay. But then the mental side kicked in, and I started losing it.
And when you say he left, did he leave? Well, they were saying like he left with the kids, or he didn't leave with the kids.
No, he did not leave with my kids.
Oh, so you had?
I had my kids. I had my children until a day or two before this happened, and they got taken from me because I left them. Apparently, I left them at a hospital. I didn't know that. They told me I was going to go to the hospital and get checked out. One of my friends called the cops instead of calling one of my other friends to pick up my kids because they said I was doing weird shit around the babies. And this is a trap house.
It's about the hang up. We can finish. Could you call again?
Yeah, I can call you back.
Okay, because it's about to hang up in like
45 seconds.
Yeah, you can see the same thing I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like to the you say 2 days before, like the incident before it happened.
Yeah, the murder.
And then so you said, and so they took the DCF. I don't know if it's called the same there, but DCFS.
Yeah, it's CWS.
CWS.
Yeah, I went to a hospital because my friends called the police and said I was acting bizarrely. And that takes a lot for those type of people to call the police, first of all, because I was in a trap house with my friends, and they had to be spooked to call, And at first, I thought that they had not tried to call anyone else to get the kids, but I guess eventually I realized that she told me, yeah, I did try to call her other friends, and I wouldn't let them go with them. So she called the police, and I had just beat a pimping and pandering case. And the woman who was the main detective on that showed up at the house and was like, Moore, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, what are you talking about? I'm fine. You're like, we got a call from Allison. You're acting kind of weird. We want to take you to the hospital, make sure you're okay. So I allow them to take me to the hospital. But then when I get there, they separate me from the kids, and they say they're not getting the kids back. And I was so scared. I felt like a scary movie at that hospital at the time. They told me to get undressed, take my pants off, and give me some fluids. And I was like, that sounds crazy. I was already out of my mind a little bit. I said, that sounds crazy. I'm not doing any of that. If they would have just said, hey, we want to test you for drugs, I would have been more compliant. But that's not how they worded it, and it freaked me out. And so I left. I ran away. They said they were going to call the police. If I tried to take the kids, which now I realize I should have called the police and been like, these people aren't giving me my kids. That's what you would do. I mean, that's the only recourse. But because of that, they went into CWS, and my brother is like a big honcho in this little town where he lives, and he lives in that area. And so he had someone call and be like, hey, do you want your niece and nephew? So he got them. Ever since that time, he's had them. I just talk to them. They're excelling.
Well, they five now, right? Five years old?
Yeah, they're almost 5.
Oh, okay. So,
but they live a charmed life.
Say that again.
They live a charmed life. My brother is a big outdoorsy guy.
Oh, okay.
So now they're outdoorsy, sort of. They have chickens and goats, and he has long dreads, and they sort of all live a happy-go-lucky life. They do something every day.
Your brother, he look more dark skin, right? He black, right? Because I know you mixed, right?
He's darker than me.
Yeah, he's dark. He's mixed too, or?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So the date of the incident. So like, what happened from what you remember?
So the voice that was there was telling me that, I was on a countdown. Okay, so at first it was like, you got to do this, and I had like 3 days, and I was like, sure, I'll do it. I had even like bought some poison because I was going to like try to do it that way, because it was like, you have to do this, you have to kill this demon inside of a person. It won't hurt the person, but you have to go kill a demon that's inside of a person. And that's what I had to go do. And so all of a sudden it was, you have 24 hours left, you have 10 hours left, and I was like, oh my God, I started panicking. And I went out and I looked for people, and that area is filled with like homeless people, so I thought they were all the demon, the thing, because they looked gross. And I picked one up and tried it.
So how far from your house did you go? Like, how far you?
Not far.
Like 10, 15 minutes type?
Yeah. It's a very small area. Humboldt County, where I got arrested, is very small. They're only known for like their weed. There's a lot of weed farms and people, downtrodden sort of people, homeless people. They have a huge homeless situation, more like a San Francisco than a little town like what they are. So there's these people all over. They're always getting hit on the roads because they're always in the freeway, middle of the freeway. Yeah, so they're just all over. So I found one person. Actually, a friend of mine pulled up in his car and was like, "Hey, this bitch has been wasting our time." And I was like, "Oh shit, he knows too." So this got to be real. So I put the girl in my car, went, and I guess I said, "Do you want to go do drugs or something?" Because I don't remember. And then started stabbing her.
So it was just you and a girl, or was it you and somebody else and a girl?
No, it's just me.
Just you? Okay.
Just me. Everyone thinks wants there to be a co-defendant, that I can put this on my family, knows it wasn't me, believes it wasn't me. Like, it was just me. I was just there alone.
Wait, so this is because it was two girls though, right? So is this the first? It was
two girls. So that one got away. So I stabbed one. Her name is Misty Miller. I knew her. And she's actually the first person I thought of when they said demon in someone, because she's so out of it and so crazy, it looks like there's a demon in her all the time. So when he pulled up with her, it was just affirmation that this was the person that was supposed to die.
Also, somebody pulled up on you and like, this girl is wasting my time, and then you said, "Do you want to go do drugs?" And she got into your car.
Yeah, and that was my pretense to go kill her, to kill it.
So was you driving and you stabbed her while you're driving?
I pulled over. Okay. I pulled over in a little spot where we could like fake do drugs, and then I guess because I'm out of it at this time during that, and I growled at her, I guess, and just started stabbing her, and then she got away. But I was blacked out at that time. I only learned later from her attorney that I was growling and said, I said, "Die, bitch, die," and that sort of thing. So she got away. She was later found with like 20 stab wounds to her head. At first, she told them who I was, and then later she recanted because she realized who I was, and we know each other, and that I didn't know what was happening. So she dropped her charges, but they picked them up.
Oh, wow.
Regardless.
Okay, so after she got away, then you drove how far? Again, you still was.
Then I drove. At one point, I picked up a man. He was like half midget. I know him, and he was like, I was like, he was trying to be perverted probably, and that for me was another telltale sign that they were a demon or something. So I brought him to my house, and I told him that I needed the oil fixed in my car to check my oil because I was going to run him over. And so I put him in the car, or he was outside of the car fixing the oil, and I like revved the engine, and I was like going to try to hit him. And I did it one time, and he's like, "Hey, what the fuck? What the fuck?" And I was like, "Oh, sorry. Go again. And then he did it again, and I'm like, "Wow," did it again. And he ran away after that point. But, and then sometime after that is when I went driving, and I went to a store. I know because I've seen the video. I don't remember any of this. But I picked up Hannah, and I didn't know her name. I didn't know it was a person. For a long time, for a lot of years, I didn't refer to it. I referred to it as an it, because that's just what it was. I saw it. I mean, it didn't say anything. It got in my car, and it had trash all over it, like homeless people. Now I realize it was like homeless people's belongings. But it like spewed trash everywhere. And then I guess I drove to this little place by the water, and then I remember I hit it with a brick in the head because the first one got away. So if I stun it with a brick to the head that I got from my house, it probably won't get away. So I hit it with a brick in the head, then I started stabbing it, and it tried to get away. We got out of the car, and I just kept going until the other voice said, okay, that's enough, you can stop. But I was stabbing it and I was throwing things at the same time. So that's where you get all of like the stomach being open and organs being out because I was stabbing her. And because in my mind, how do you kill something that can't be killed like a demon? You have to dismantle it, and that's what I was trying to do, like get away from each other so it doesn't crawl back together and get alive or something. So
thanks. So you was like, do you actually was you like right now, were you able to see like what you was doing, or you don't like know?
No. I remember doing it, but I can't see what I was doing. Like I wasn't looking like looking at the things that I threw out, or no.
Dang. And then and this must have been, it was like an empty place a lot that late. It's like nobody there.
Nobody. There was homeless people around, but I didn't see any of them. So then eventually I stood up, and for lack of a better word, I was ready to be beamed up. I thought I was going to heaven after this happened. So I stopped, stood up, and looked around, and was waiting to get removed to a better world. That didn't happen. And so I jumped in my car and started driving, because now I'm stuck in this world where this is still a crime, and I have to deal with that. And the only reason that they knew it was me was because my gym membership key on my keys, my little gym membership swipey thing was there. I left it there.
And but okay, do you know like what date is it? Because it was like a July something, and then they didn't.
To July.
It was when?
4th of July.
And then they didn't see you until they didn't catch you till like the 5th of July, in the morning, right?
Yeah, I was driving back and forth between these little towns about 5 miles away, where all these growers hang out, looking for more things to kill, because I thought that's why it didn't work and I didn't get beamed up.
And then
so
do you remember come across any people? Because you was out there for a minute, like with blood.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I had stuff all over me. I went into a bar. I went into 2 bars. I thought I had to save some girl in the bar, and I thought I asked her if she was okay. I remember I asked them if I was still dead. Am I still dead? And then they closed that bar early to get me out of there. They were some witnesses to our case. I went and I actually tried to wash off the car with the thingy where you get water in your car. I actually tried to wash off the car because in this world, this is a crime, and I have to pretend still, and now deal with this.
It's about to hang up in 46. You could call back, or?
Yeah, I can try to call you back. They're not saying anything yet.
Okay, we could do this last one. This last one shouldn't be more than 15 minutes. I ain't gonna get you in trouble, right?